So I think what's important to note is that despite the Israeli incursion into Rafah, we've seen Hamas, at least as late as yesterday evening, signal their desire to continue with the ceasefire talks in Cairo. As your report mentioned, Director Burns is in Cairo trying to bridge the differences between the Israeli Hamas positions. Now, really, I think the main test that we need to see if those talks will succeed is whether the Israeli position can come around to accept the latest draft that was proposed and which Hamas did indeed accept. The White House has clearly signaled its desire to see these negotiations through. I think there is a more focused U.S. effort to try and get the ceasefire past the finish line. So I think that there is a more concerted effort to see the ceasefire negotiations continue. So rather than the Rafah operation stalling the negotiations, I think you're seeing one last attempt to try and get an agreement out of Cairo.
Still some major hurdles and challenges, though. Israel says it will continue that operation in Rafah until Hamas forces in the area are destroyed or until hostages are returned. And then on the other side, Hamas also says that if Israel's military aggression continues in Rafah, there'll be no ceasefire deal. So where to from here? And you sound hopeful that a deal still can be reached. What do we need to see in order to cross the finish line?
The important indicator here will be the U.S. position. So the latest draft of the ceasefire included a provision for what's called a sustained calm. And that comes very close to the Hamas position of linking a prisoner exchange to a long-term and hopefully permanent ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. That, of course, is the key issue on which Israel is objecting. So I think the critical factor here will be to see how much the U.S. position is focused on getting an agreement on that basis. If there is a concerted U.S. attempt, meaning pressure on the Israeli side as well as the Hamas side, I think we can see a ceasefire agreement being reached. The other key factor here is the U.S. position on Rafah. The U.S. has indicated that it opposes a more widespread military assault, Israeli military assault on Rafah, because of the dire humanitarian implications that would result from that type of wide-scale operation. So that there is a concerted U.S. pressure on the Israeli side not to expand the offensive in Rafah. And that may be incentive enough for the Israeli side to agree on this latest ceasefire proposal.